No, my struggling creator friend, I am not here to give you the same tips and tricks and advice that you've heard from all these other gurus that you try to put into your videos, you upload and they get like 40 views and you wondering what you did wrong. I'm not here to do that. I'm actually here today to expose these very creators, to reveal why, how YouTube gurus are not only full of shit, but in a lot of ways straight up misleading and lying to you about how to grow on YouTube, about how to build your personal brand. And if you stick to the end, I'll actually teach you what was the game changer for me, because I was never a creator that was like, oh, I'm okay with getting 30 views, 100 views, 70 views a video. I'm just doing this for funsies. Yes, it was my dream, it was my passion, but I wanted to make it a career. I wanted that freedom that I saw people who can just make content online and monetize it and grow a business and a brand off it. I want that ability to live wherever I want, work wherever I want, make content about whatever I want. And to show you I actually know what I'm talking about and I'm not just making mouth noise, I've gotten over 20 million long form views, 19.8 on this channel. To this day, I'm getting like 5,000 views a day, and I've even uploaded on this channel in months. Or my boy Ethan here, who teaches people how to do e-com, started helping him, and he just had 2 back-to-back 1 out of 10s, and this one's clearly gonna beat his average video, which is this little gray nonsense down here. And beyond vanity metrics, because let's be real, relying on ad revenue sucks, especially if you're getting like $2 per 1,000 views, you blood, sweat, and teared yourself into earning. I actually have a business running in the background that's still getting me sales to this day, despite no new uploads on that channel. For example, on July 2nd, I got, what is that, like $790. The day before, I got $400. And to top it all off, I do not have some $197 or $297 creator course YouTube accelerator program to sell you at the end of this. Do I have paid offers? Yes. Would I love for some of you to give me money so I can help you blow up your channels and your brands? Yes, but I don't believe in giving away basic information for a couple $100. My stuff is kind of expensive, and it's for more advanced people that actually have money to do this kind of thing. And for the rest of you, I'd rather just teach you all the stuff I know for free on this YouTube channel. And I did not come here to hold any punches. I want to get right into it. And what better suited than literally one of the biggest names, one of the biggest authorities on the space, which is VidIQ. I know what you're thinking, Kenny, don't do it. VidIQ is going to make the call and YouTube's going to drone strike your house and delete your channel. It's okay. I'm doing this because I love you. Remember me when I'm gone. VidIQ has been around for a while. It's a tool to help you see outliers. I literally have it installed right now. You can see I have these little outlier metrics on these channels. But that's one thing. Yeah, I use the tool to look at outliers, but there's a tons of different tools that can do that. I want to talk about the actual content they create, because this is the cream of the crop when it comes to YouTube education, and it is complete and utter poo-poo. Like literally just scrolling with this, I'm like, okay, cool. We got this guy with blue glasses because he definitely thought to himself, the best way to make content, I need to stand out and brand myself. So, oh, I know, I'll just wear 50-cent Chinese glasses on my face that are blue and everyone's gonna remember me, and that's how you grow on YouTube, right? And it's funny because you go to a channel like this and you click on a video and you're just like, actually not a bad title. YouTube doesn't want you to know about this video. And then it's just this like low budget podcast with this guy who doesn't even want you to know what the inside of his room looks like. So he has a fake background. This is some cheap webcam. Everything about this is low quality, low budget, and low value if you actually watch it. They're not talking about anything mind-blowing or even valuable that it's going to get you more views on your channel. Because the truth of the matter is, these are not YouTube gurus. These are not creators. This is a company trying to sell you a product, and they put on this masquerade of being some sort of experts on YouTube as if they created the algorithm, as if they're YouTube employees, when they're not. They were just in the game before anyone else. They were able to garner 2.2 million subscribers, making videos about how to maximize SEO in your titles back like 10 years ago when any of that actually mattered. None of that matters now. And they've just been riding that wave ever since. This is kind of the first pool of YouTube gurus. They're not actually YouTube gurus. They are just some company trying to sell you their thing. And honestly, what's worse than the content that these gurus put out is the comments. I'm so sick and tired of worrying about what YouTube is doing, man. They're gonna change the algorithm and everything's gonna fall apart and I'm gonna get 10 views instead of 50 views on my videos. Which is actually one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to trying to grow your personal brand. And that is thinking that the vehicle that you are using is the business model itself. So here's you, aspiring creator. Maybe you want to grow the business you already have. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you just want to talk about the things you're interested in online and let that be your career and attract a community of like-minded people. And you want this desired outcome over here, that desired outcome being that personal brand, being that stable income, being that ability to live that laptop lifestyle. I don't know what laptop looks like this. I would be very concerned if you have a laptop that looks like this. And the issue comes is that people think that YouTube is the business model. Like, oh, YouTube is the business model. I just need to do YouTube. And that's the key. YouTube is the key. And within YouTube is all of this good stuff, when that is not the case at all, because all this is over here is a destination. It is your desired outcome. And when you want to go somewhere, let's say you wanted to travel somewhere that is 500 miles away, and in front of you, you have a bicycle, you have a Prius, or you have this nice, bright red, super fast, super awesome Ferrari. Has the best gas, the comfiest seats, and it is just an awesome vehicle that you could use to go towards your target destination. YouTube is kind of just like the Ferrari. It is an ideal vehicle to get you towards the destination of having that personal brand, getting that income, all of those things that you want. Could you take a Prius there? Yeah, it'd probably be a lot longer. It could break down. Maybe you have to charge it, all this stuff. And it's also just not the best, comfiest thing to sit in. Could you take a bike there? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pedaling, a lot of pain, a lot of brute force, but eventually you could take a bike to that target destination. But 99.9% of people that actually care about efficiency and reaching their goals before they die are going to choose the Ferrari. But regardless about how nice this Ferrari is, it is just a vehicle. It is not a business. It is not a model. Therefore, when I see people who are constantly worried about what YouTube is doing, like the algorithm's going to change, like this, that, and the other. Oh, I need to figure out how to type the right keywords. Oh, the algorithm is this mystical force that's against me. It saddens me because they have a complete misunderstanding of what this whole thing is all about. They think that YouTube is this God that will grant or not grant the ticket to the life you desire. When the truth is, regardless of the vehicle you have, if you have a map that will lead you to your destination, you're going to get there either way. You know the direction you should be heading in. You know the actions you should be taking. You know what you should be doing. You know what content you should be making. As a smallish channel, I think the best thing to do is just have fun. If you love what you do, just let the growth happen naturally. So this is what basically saying, I don't need the map. I'm going to crumble it up and throw the map away. I'm just going to frolic around and somehow I'll magically stumble across everything I've ever desired. This guy here actually gets it. I'm not too sure about this. I think YouTube doesn't push videos to anyone. I think they pull videos for each viewer. Ding, 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 ding. Newsflash. No algorithm. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, freaking LinkedIn. We don't talk about LinkedIn. They don't care about the creators. They care about the viewers. They make money from the viewers. They make money from the ads that the viewers watch. But they care so much about the viewers that they want to go and find the ideal content to match with that specific viewer at any given moment when they click on the homepage. Which means you need the map to get you to that desired outcome. The map being a deep understanding of how to actually make good, compelling content, regardless of the vehicle you choose. Yes, do I think YouTube is the best platform? Do I think long form is the best medium for content because it builds the strongest connection with the viewers? 1000%. That's why I'm not sitting around posting 20 tweets a day or trying to sell Twitter courses like a lot of people do. I'm here saying YouTube's goated. You should still do YouTube, even though it has all these flaws or whatever. But clearly, a lot of struggling creators have a flawed conception about what YouTube is, and these false idols, these gurus, just kind of feed into that by conspiring about this new algorithm change is going to change everything about YouTube. You don't need to edit anymore, or you should edit, or you should do your titles like this, or you should do your titles like that. Or you should do Mr. Beast, bright green shirt, cartoon face explosions in your thumbnails because that got 1 million views over here. They don't actually know the core principles, because there are two camps of creators, and no, these are not breasts. Grow up. You have those who focus on these little tips, these tactics, these hacks, and they're just trying desperately to hop on the next trend, do the next hack, the next topic, the next keyword that's going to blow up their channel. And when I say blow up their channel, I really just mean maybe one video does well and gets some views, which means nothing if you're trying to build a brand and get money. If you want to just get views on one video and ride off into the sunset with your ego. You don't care about money. You don't care about impact. You don't care about business or brand. That's perfectly fine. You could probably listen to some of these guys and get decent results and go get your 100,000 view video. Yippee. But for the majority of you, including myself, we know that's not the case, which means you fall into the camp of those who want to master the core principles of content, the core principles of brand, the core principles of what it all boils down to, and that is psychology. And a good way to know if someone teaching branding, business, YouTube growth on YouTube, a good way to know which side they're on is just ask yourself and go look at their channels and say, did he actually build a personal brand into business before teaching YouTube? Or has he just always been the guy teaching YouTube? For example, you would not doubt that someone like Aman Geji, like him or not, I have mixed opinions on him, or PewDiePie, or Ali Abdaal, or Mr. Beast, you wouldn't doubt that they have deep understandings of content even if they don't directly teach it themselves, because they clearly mastered the skills that garnered the results of having the personal brands, the businesses, and the performance on YouTube. It's kind of like the true creators that have actually built brands and businesses and all that. It's kind of like they're all entrepreneurs. They're all real business owners. So imagine if you're hanging around all these real business owners and you decide, well, I want to learn business. I'm going to go learn from the business professor at this community college that has never built a single real business in his entire life, but just teaches business to get paid. I'm going to go learn from this guy instead. Like this YouTube guru I stumbled across, and he was talking about his old content. He was showing it, even though he censored it for some reason, but you could see the descriptions. Okay, this is how to grow a YouTube channel. Okay, what about one of his other channels? Also teaching people how to grow YouTube channels. Okay, what about his next channel? Also how to grow on YouTube. But that's enough slander. It's time to teach you some sauce. It's time to teach you some of the things that actually helped me grow and get over 200,000 subs, a 6-figure business, and a lifestyle I always wanted, which is living wherever I want, traveling wherever I want, getting to just take my camera and laptop wherever and talk about stuff I want to talk about. And the first lesson is, what is the one thing you see so much? It is so trite. It is so repeated through all these gurus. They say, oh, you just need to be authentic. That's it, guys. You don't need to edit your videos. You don't need to worry about these crazy awesome thumbnails. You just need to be yourself and have fun, and people will want to watch your content. Really? No. Because sure, is there once in a blue moon a 0.1% archetype type of person who could just stumble into the internet and give this man a microphone and give this man a camera? That is quite the camera. And he'll garner views because he's just inherently so interesting, polarizing, entertaining, informational, whatever. Yes, the majority of us, including myself, was not that. I made videos for years and years and years and years and years and years, only getting like 20 to 100 views a video. Most of us are not that because most of us don't have the skills. We haven't mastered the core principles in order to make good content. So us being authentic is actually just being low skilled, bad, low effort, lazy. So me being part of the 99.9% realized I need to learn some stuff. I need to change as a person, as a creator, if I want to have a chance at this. Therefore, I stopped just trying to be myself and just press record and just be consistent and upload. Because what's the point of being consistent if your videos suck? You're still going to get 10 views a video. And I learned how to master what I consider the holy trinity of personal branding. And that is understanding rhetoric. And that is logos, pathos, and ethos. Logos is appealing to logic. It means the things you say make sense and you're good at communicating it and you're good at teaching things. Obviously, my specialty is more edutainment, educational style content. I'm not some magical entertainment guru that's going to help you be Mr. Beast. I think the majority of entertainment content is slop actually and doesn't impact the world in any positive way. So ethos, which boiled down is trust, but what really triggers trust is if they feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you, meaning you know how to communicate authority. You garner trust, you get the viewer to actually trust you. They're not going to watch your video. They're not going to take action on anything you say if they don't trust you. And likability. Do you say the things? Do you carry yourself in a way? Do you behave in a way? Do you say the things that make your ideal viewer like you? And if you do not have an ideal viewer, which I mean a crystal clear avatar of who you are making content for, it doesn't matter what I'm about to say in the rest of this video, because you will never understand how to make the perfect title, the perfect thumbnail, the perfect hooks, the perfect topics that you make content about, because you're trying to appeal to everyone. And when you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. So if you go into the description, I have a completely free audience avatar generator that you can get, and it will actually help you step by step create a crystal clear vision of who you're making content for. This alone could triple to 10x the quality, the impact of the content you create. Pathos. Pathos means that you appeal to emotion. This is why in the majority of even educational content, the creator will open up with some kind of story of their own struggles, or they will describe the viewer's struggles directly to them. Why? Because they are trying to trigger an emotional response within the brain of the viewer, because they know that that is the only way to get the viewer to, one, actually pay attention and not half-heartedly watch and click off to the next video that's recommended. Two, truly believe that the creator understands the feelings of the viewer. And lastly, get them to actually take action. People only take action if there's some sort of emotional trigger. We love to pretend like we're these perfectly logical creatures. That is not the case. The majority of decisions we make, the majority of actions we do as humans are based on emotions, and then we later use logos, logic, to justify why we did that. And it's knowing the perfect balance of how to communicate all these different things in your content that makes your content and actually your personal brand truly powerful, truly compelling, and truly profitable. And you can check these boxes with crazy editing. You can check all these boxes with completely raw content, which is why it drives me up a freaking wall when gurus are trying to tell you how to edit. Oh, YouTube wants raw content now. They want authentic, so stop over editing. Oh no, YouTube wants you to have an edit or a cut every 20 seconds. None of that's true. None of that matters, especially if you're a more educational, value-based creator and not just entertainment slop. And the truth is, at first, when you're trying to work all of these three things perfectly inside your content, it's not going to feel authentic, because you're having to consciously think about the things you're saying, think about the things you talk about within your content. But what happens is, over time, the more and more you consciously think about it and work on it, the more and more it gets ingrained in your subconscious. And then you get to a level where it truly is who you are. And that's when it becomes authentic. For example, I have absolutely zero script on this video right now. I have absolutely zero outline. There's no hidden script. There's no teleprompter on the camera, nothing like that, because I have just digested this stuff over years and years and years of chasing mastery in this, to where now I can just rant about it all the time, because it's truly who I am. Even the way I'm talking on camera right now, at first when I was trying to learn tonality, pacing, altering my volume to get people to keep paying attention, it felt a little different. It felt a little inauthentic, whereas now, it's just how I talk. And to put the final nail in the coffin, I actually want to call my friend. He is a friend he's made more videos than me. He's made like 3 or 4 times the amount of content I've made. And for years and years and years, he struggled. He was not growing. He could barely get to like a couple thousand subscribers doing this. And he listened to every YouTube guru on the planet. I've sat in calls with this guy, and he has just ranted to me about how none of it worked, even though I did everything they told me to do.
I've probably spent, at least $4,000 to $5,000 at a minimum on coaching for YouTube and things like that. And in particular, this one situation was really kind of like the last straw. It was like one of these guys who's like a really big YouTube coach, guru kind of guy. I signed up for one-on-one coaching with him, and basically he had it as 2 options. You could sign up with him, or he had a YouTube expert who was on his team who was trained with all of the same stuff he has, and he was going to use the same systems, and it was like a little bit cheaper price. And in my situation, that's who I paid for. His main thing was like trying to get me to like niche down, basically, which was kind of odd, because like this guy was kind of anti-niche, and he was basically telling me to almost like silo myself into like an SEO kind of like strategy, almost like not SEO, but just so fucking niche. Basically, my channel proceeded to tank from this advice. Like, it was just doing worse, significantly worse. It was like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 every time. Long story short, I did what he said. And this really applies to literally, I think almost every coaching program I purchased ended in actually a negative impact for my channel. But theirs certainly did. It was 10 out of 10 videos. I spent $1,000 on a 1-month coaching program with another guy. And the first video we made was a 10 out of 10 dud, worst video I'd made in ages. But yeah, no, a lot of these gurus, they don't know their shit. And truthfully, being your friend, I have gotten more out of working with you and learned more from you than I've learned from any guru that I've spent money on for YouTube. Now that we think about this, though, they don't understand brand. They understood understood how to make a singular viral video, but like brand building is a much different thing that I think the industry is maybe starting to evolve into. I think the authentic content era is really people kind of reverting to a bit of a brand centric strategy.
The gurus say authenticity, but they don't understand what they're saying when they say that. Like, oh, Sam Sulek got millions of views being authentic. And it's like, because his brand is insane. He's like a 1 in a billion human being, you know, whereas like it's kind of like how you need to replace algorithm with audience. You need to replace authenticity with like brand. Low editing that is still branded and your content overall has a branded aesthetic or vibe about it is infinitely more valuable than this high production editing that is just the default editing that everyone does, because like all these YouTubers outsource overseas to these editors and they all edit the exact same way because they've been trained to and groomed to edit this exact same way. And it's like this meme and these video clips and this stock footage and these Mr. Beast or Alex Hormozy fonts where it's like this hodgepodge of just like, well, this worked here and this worked there, but there's no coercion, there's no aesthetic or overall vibe. It's just like here, dangling keys in front of a kid, like, oh, here you go, you want to keep watching, watch the keys jangle. But even if you do all that, if you don't know how to properly monetize and build a business to make that fuck you level of income, which just means freedom level of income, then you're not going to be able to stay consistent with it because life is going to catch up. You're going to stay stuck in that job you don't want to be in. The pressure financially is going to weigh on you and you never truly get creator freedom. So if you click the video on the screen right now, it is my full 27-minute guide on how to make fuck you money with a personal brand in 2025. I literally spilled the beans on everything I have done to build 6-figure businesses off my personal brand. It's on the screen right now. Click it, click it, click it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.